A mystic, yogi, visionary, humanitarian, author and poet. Sadhguru is a spiritual master with a difference. Traversing seamlessly from the ancient to the ultramodern, he bridges the gap between the known and unknown, making a clear break from the mere customs and rituals. Sadhguru presents the inner dimension in a scientific manner.
Health is a very funny thing, the way it is understood today in the world. There are very few health professionals, there are only medical professionals. People learn medicine, not health. Over 15,000 years ago, when Adiyogi appeared in the upper regions of Himalayas, when people sought him to know the way of life, the first thing that he taught them, and the most fundamental thing which he taught them, was what is today referred to as Bhuta Shuddhi. That means cleansing the five elements within the system. Bhuta Shuddhi, if practiced properly, leads to what we refer to as Bhuta Siddhi, or a certain mastery over the five elements. This comes from the understanding, this comes from the basis that if you want to build a clean building, you just have to take care of the building material properly. If the building material is not pure, is not of good quality, the building that you build, the structure that you build, is bound to be of an inferior quality. These are technologies for well-being, because we never considered body as the whole of our life. We always saw body as something that we will discard at a certain moment. Our sense of well-being was not limited to the physicality of life. So the focus was always on the inner well-being, which would naturally lead to the physical well-being of a human being. So I keep asking people, if you have any problem with your body, first of all, to understand from where the body was made. If you as much as eat a banana, this banana goes inside and becomes a human being. So there is a certain level of intelligence and competence and capability here, which is capable of making a human being out of a banana. That level of intelligence and competence exists here. So the very creation of this body happens from within. When this body is being created from inside, when we know that the very source of creation of this body is within us, if you have a repair job to be done, would you like to go to the manufacturer or to the local mechanic? Most people are choosing to go to the local mechanic. That is not because that is what they want to do, that is because they have lost the access to the manufacturer. The infrastructure, both in physical terms and in human terms, necessary to bring this technology of inner well-being to the people has unfortunately been obliterated in the last 200 to 300 years of external rule in the country. Wherever people, human habitations lived, there were places where medicine grew and people just had to access it. They didn't have to go to a shop and buy it, they didn't have to be treated by somebody, because almost everybody knew what to do with themselves. What your grandmothers knew about their health and well-being, and today the generation that is here For every little thing they need a pill or an injection or whatever else, how it has changed in a matter of 50 years. This happened to me when I was about 20 years of age. On a certain day, I was playing field hockey and I broke my ankle. I know what it means, I know what is a fractured bone because by then I had broken it many times. So, I did not need a doctor to diagnose and tell me this bone is broken. When a bone is broken, I know it's broken. So my ankle was ballooning up and I limped to the side of the hockey field and just sat there. Other boys were still continuing to play and they were raising a lot of dust. I sat there in extreme pain and my leg had swollen up that way. And this dust and this pain together, somehow I couldn't breathe, I was suffocating, I could not breathe for some time and became like I was wheezing for breath, I was struggling to breathe, gasping for breath. I have been meditating and doing things till then, so suddenly this thought came to me, if the very source of creation is within me, why is it that I can't fix this little breath? Why is it that I can't fix this broken bone? I sat there for about an hour and a quarter with my eyes closed, and when I opened my eyes, my breath was perfectly okay and it's been perfectly okay since then. And above all, my broken leg was perfectly fine, the swelling had gone down and it was quite good. I was feeling a little pain in the muscle, but my bone was perfectly all right. So I was really couldn't believe it. I stood up and I did not know whether it would support me or not, but I was quite fine. Then I got onto my motorcycle and you had to kickstart with your left leg, and which I did, and I was fine. It is from that moment that I started really looking, and this whole technologies for inner well-being, what we are offering today as inner engineering, essentially came from that experience that something as physical, not like an ailment, as physical as a broken bone, actually in about an hour and a quarter it was fully fixed for me and it became perfectly all right for me. And armed with this experience, I started experimenting with myself in so many ways and arrived at various things. And today that is what we are propagating as inner engineering process.
So spiritual process means just that's all. We are on fast forward, not that we have anything against mangoes or coconuts, we're just on fast forward, so we can't be plucking this and that. So here, the moon is on fast forward today. All the 28 days, all the 28 phases of the moon you see right here. Everything that happens in a month, in a subtle way, is happening right here. When such a fast forward is happening, many things are changing. One thing that you will notice is that the food, when I say food, don't hang your tongue out. No, when I say food, I mean your body. We're inviting some tigers today. They look at you and think, food. Isn't it? Food means your body. Food is your body in making, isn't it? Food is your body. So when I say food, the food, particularly the cooked food, will go through the phases of its deterioration much, much more rapidly in a subtle way than it does on a normal day. We thought we'll do a little experiment. Do we have food? We're going to bring some food, don't hang your tongues out. This is not for eating. This is just to show you how quickly it's going bad, right here as we sit. So, everything is going through a certain phase. If you are not already aware of this, எப்படி சாப்பிடுவாங்க? வெறி சாதம் சாப்பிடுவாங்களா அவரு? ஊத்துங்க. போதும். This is not just happening to the food, this is happening to your body, this is happening to the whole world in a certain way. If there is food in your body, it would happen to you much more. That is, in 2 hours' time, your energies will age by approximately 28 days. That means 27 days less of lifespan could happen to you energy-wise in a subtle way. We'll keep watching this as it goes by. Yeah. என்ன சாப்பாடு நல்லாவே இருக்குது, சாப்பிட்டுடலாமா? இன்னும் நல்லாவே இருக்குது. So right now it's still okay. You watch this in the next 1.5 hours. You will see things will change about this food as we sit here, okay? We will leave it now, it'll mature. So, the reason why so many things are taken care of on a full lunar eclipse day is because you're passing 28 days in 2 hours' time, approximately 2 hours' time. So today is a special day because of the alignment that happens. Certain things happen in the planet where anything which anything that moves away from its natural condition will naturally deteriorate very, very fast on this day. We have not really conducted an experiment like this, but I can say it with fair amount of confidence that suppose we measure how quickly a dead body deteriorates, on this day it will be much faster than other days. Somebody should experiment on this. If anybody is working in a pathology laboratory, you should try this out and see. But I can show this to you with reference to food, cooked food, because this is like a dead body. In the sense, it is moved away from its natural condition. How it was when it was in its natural condition, how it is now, it is moved away. We can still eat it, it still nourishes us, even though it's dead. It still nourishes us, but see how quiet it has become now? Not very enthusiastic. The first time we held it, it was clearly going this way. Right now it is simply… it is still not totally tamas, it is moving there, it's almost there. You will see in another 15-20 minutes, if you check it, it will be going anti-clockwise. By the time you see a tiny piece of moon, you will see actively it will be going this way. So if this was in your stomach right now, 7 o'clock, if you had your dinner and you were sitting here, this would be happening within you. So I thought it's better it happens outside than within you because food will rot in the stomach. If we go by the physical sciences, if we examine you by the limitations of physical sciences, on one level, you are just heart, liver, kidney, lungs and whatever. We know today they're all replaceable. Are you replaceable? Let's see what's happening to the sambar. It's important, isn't it? You see this? Are you able to see this? Actively going negative. Say, we told you not to eat. Those people in Delhi who are eating today, what to do with them? This is going through a whole phase. What would happen in 28 days, in a subtle way, in an energy, on the level of energy, it is happening in these 2 hours' time. How many minutes totally? 130 minutes? What is it, the eclipse? Huh? 50 minutes. So 50 are full, totally about 2 hours, right? Almost close to 3 hours of time. In these 3 hours, what happens in 28 days is happening right here. It is happening to your body right now as you sit here. You should be able to notice it, but you're not able to notice it, so the sambar is telling you what your brain is not able to tell you. Too much sambar sadam in the head. I told you, you must eat some natural food, but you're addicted to this, look at this. Enama vayarla potunda enna irukum. In 3 hours' time, or less than… this is only… we are watching it only for less than 40 minutes. In an hour's time, what is nourishing food is turning into poison. That's what is happening right here. If you eat this, what will happen? Will I die? Unfortunately, you don't. Why I'm saying unfortunately is, if you eat this, if you immediately fall dead, they would have passed a law. On an eclipse day, nobody should eat the cooked food. But because it's subtle, we've come up with the Adiyogi. It took me 2.5 years to design this face. We created dozens and dozens of faces and forms. I somehow could not agree. Every time I describe something, our IT team works on it and comes up with this, then I don't like the nose, I don't like the ears, I don't like this, I don't like that. And it went on for 2.5 years. We came up with many dozens of images. Finally, we arrived at an image somehow. I thought this represents what we are looking at as Adiyogi. And now we built one 21 feet tall, and he's sitting in America, in Tennessee, the Tennessee ashram. And we are in the process of building one which is 112 feet tall, just the face. It's going to be the largest face on the planet, just the face. One is coming up near the ashram. We want to put these 4 corners of the country. We were thinking of Arunachal Pradesh, but there are many problems there, because I don't want Adiyogi to kind of migrate to China at some point in history. So I'm thinking east means we'll put it up in Varanasi, north means somewhere north of Delhi, west means we were thinking of Rajasthan, but again, it's too far out in the desert, so west means now we're thinking Mumbai. So, this is going to be an iconic presence for this city. The one that we place in the ashram is in a remote place, but we want him there. So, that will come up there. But what comes up in Mumbai will become an iconic… So he's… nobody can create an Adiyogi for sure, but he largely, this image beginning to represent that, it kind of gelled with my mind. So, he has a certain presence, and we've also created 1 foot tall ones and 6 inches ones, 9 inches ones, all kinds, but we want 112 feet tall ones come because he gave 112 ways in which a human being can attain to his ultimate nature. Because he created 112 ways, we thought as an acknowledgement for providing us 112 ways through which we can know, still being in the body. He also mentioned this when Parvati challenged him, why can't there be more, and they went through that whole drama. Then he said, 112 ways if you are rooted in the body. If you are not rooted in the body, then as many atoms there are in the cosmos, that many ways are there. So, even if you're rooted in the body, 112 ways, so we thought, we cannot build something as many atoms in the universe. So 112 ways, for those who are rooted in the body, he provided 112 ways to attain ultimate nature. So 112-foot tall Adiyogi will come up. I think these temples are not pure worshipping temples, these are sadhana temples. So if people come, they can learn a 3-minute yoga, 10-minute yoga, 20-minute yoga, 30-minute yoga, whatever. If they come to the temple, there is a way to learn something for your inner well-being. This is the fundamental shift that we want to bring about. That is, for human well-being, instead of looking up, you turn inward. This shift needs to happen in the world. As long as they're looking up, there's going to be a fight on the planet. My God versus your God struggle will never go. Only if people start seeing my well-being has to be addressed means I have to turn inward. If this awareness and this consciousness spreads, only then you will see a different kind of humanity, a different kind of world where people will function in an entirely different way. So we want to use this event that's coming up now on 21st of June, which is declared the International Yoga Day, where 177 nations have endorsed this for the first time. In United Nations, no resolution ever in the history of United Nations got the support of 177 nations. International Yoga Day. So, International Yoga Day got this kind of support. And this has been something that we've been working for, that the leadership in the world should begin to speak the spiritual possibility and the benefits of turning inward. And for the first time, a head of a major nation is going out in the Committee of Nations. In the United Nations, our Prime Minister spoke about the importance and the significance of yoga. When he's in conversation with the President of United States, 7 minutes of the conversation was about yoga. 2 minutes of the UN speech was about yoga. Never before such things have happened. What this means is, the significance of life is shifting from heaven to inner nature. Those who think their well-being is in heaven must proceed.